violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, in school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
In Sayreville, New Jersey, pleading with the public tonight for any tips in the brutal murder of a city councilwoman.
She called.
Digital road signs are now up asking for help as well. It's been almost a week and no arrests in this case. News 4's Brian Thompson joining us from Sayreville with the latest on the investigation.
The police appeal in digital signs and elsewhere send us tips, dashcam video. The investigation into the death of Sayreville Councilwoman Unhinged Dilbert still being kept under a tight lid by the Middlesex prosecutor. They're looking for videos, and News 4 has exclusively obtained this surveillance video. Police are looking into whether it could be the shooter running in the back of the complex.
Dang, so you got a city councilwoman who was shot and killed, maybe by a rando, or it could have been by an ex-lover. Who knows? I don't assume that she was dealing with a pookie, but it could be possible. But unfortunately, we see that we don't have justice for this woman, so that's always a sad situation.
Past a dumpster on Wednesday night at 7:30. If it was him, he could have been running to this path that goes straight to the Garden State Parkway just steps away. Police have already searched this area, and it certainly makes more sense than running straight through the nearby woods, which are a tangle of brambles, fallen limbs, and trees.
I just wouldn't go to the woods. I don't know. It's just because I don't know what's in there.
Police even appealing for videos from this community across the parkway, but with 10 lanes of traffic, a high chain link fence, and similar woods, one resident thinks it's unlikely the killer came here for an escape.
You know, get himself all the way across the parkway, hop over a fence, and just be casual about it. And I mean, it's possible. I mean, ain't no doubt about it, but I wouldn't think so.
Dilbert was married just last summer, her husband remaining in his homeland of Nigeria to build a church. Today, we heard from him for the first time in a Facebook post, saying he will continue to celebrate her, ending, "I missed you, my love."
Oh, wow. So it looks like she was married to a Nigerian brother. He put up a Facebook post. Do y'all think that there's something fishy? I don't want to accuse him of anything. You know, you just kind of think about maybe if he would have any motive. But, you know, I don't want to draw to those conclusions.
To celebrate her, ending, "I missed you, my love." A public memorial will be held here in Sayreville on Wednesday for this 30-year-old city councilwoman, a rising political star on the Republican side. Also on Wednesday, Governor Murphy has ordered the flags at state and federal facilities to be flown at half-staff. In Sayreville, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
Two women shot in two separate shootings overnight in Atlanta. One was killed, the other in serious condition, according to Atlanta police. 11 Alive's Karis Belger is live with what we know so far. Karis.
Well, right now, police are still trying to piece together the details from these two separate incidences, and they've been doing so since the early hours of this morning. Here's what we know so far. The first shooting took place on Fraser Street, and police say a woman was shot and killed inside a home there.
Damn. So, like I said, women and children are not left off limits. This is heating up, okay? This level of violence, this level of murders, it's heating up in Atlanta. And nobody's really talking about it. It seems like it's just an afterthought and people just want to live their lives in La La Land and not realize what's knocking on their doorstep.
One person of interest is in custody. We know that person is a male, and at this time a man, and at this time the homicide investigation is taking over that investigation. The second shooting happened on Grant Street, and police say this started as an argument between two acquaintances. One woman was shot in the side of the face, and she's described as being in serious condition by police. One man is in custody and cooperating, according to officers. And Captain Hunt with the Atlanta Police Department says the officers are still trying to piece together what led to that shooting in the Grant Street incident, and this investigation is still very much in its early stages. Christy?
Karis, thank you.
Both of their lives just gone in a blink of an eye. My whole life has changed.
Two parents brainstorming ways they can help curb violence they know too well. Both of their sons were shot and killed on the same night in Conway. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Laura Monteverdi. Riley Birdwell spoke with the mothers today, and she joins us in studio. And Riley, these moms sadly share a common bond. How did they come up with this idea?
Well, Laura, what sparked the idea was a way of keeping both of their loved ones' names alive, but also to advocate for change in their communities. Both moms tell me they didn't know each other before Raekwon Hull and Derek Palmer were shot and killed. But it has been powerful for both families to come together and support each other and now speak out against gun violence.
It's just senseless. It's senseless.
The lives of Raekwon Hull and Derek Palmer taken in the blink of an eye after being shot on Lucille Street in Conway January 21st.
I'm angry, but I have to be strong.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that I would never see my son again.
Both Demetria Jackson Thompson and Shayna Rosebia did not know each other before tragically losing their sons the same night. But they said they know they had to be a voice for their sons, so they decided to come together to advocate against gun violence.
Yeah, man. This is a sad story. Sorry, y'all saw me peeking out the window. I was just looking at activity going on outside. But yeah, it's a very sad story that these mothers just have to come together and even have this experience. I've been telling you the community is on fire. This one comes out of Arkansas. I mean, it's really just leaving me speechless at this point, because there's not really much you can say. We've done all that we can to bring awareness to this situation. It seems like it's not slowing down at all. It really isn't, man. And that's the saddest part.
We're gonna do something about this. We're gonna get together and we're gonna make a difference, you know, in Conway, in Little Rock, in Arkansas. We just want to make awareness.
We have to come together as a community. I will be a voice for my son. I will be a voice for DP, for Derek Palmer, and Raekwon Hull. Let's bring this awareness out and let these people know this is not what we're fixing to have.
By partnering with a program called Help the Way to come up with solutions on how to curb violence in the city of Conway.
Never heard of it, but you know, hopefully this helps a little bit. I haven't heard much out of the city of Conway, but I'll start looking into it, because it seemed like they're used to this, and it's starting to heat up in all these small cities as well. So that's what's even worse. You know, it's not just the metropolitan areas, the heavily populated areas. It's it's everywhere.
They even brought up creating committees consisting of pastors and people in the community to create programs for youth, and also going out and talking to those in the community.
If we come together and if we reach out, if we just hit the streets and get in front of these people, we can't just sit back and continue to talk about how bad they are if we're not willing to get out there and try to stop it.
The Conway Police Department say they have arrested 19-year-old Deshaun Jones and 18-year-old Kaylon Ravine, and they are facing 2 counts of capital murder. They are still looking for Tracy Patton Jr., who is also wanted in connection to the shooting. So if you have any information on his whereabouts, call the Conway Police Department.
It would help if we had some pictures of these individuals. I mean, do they really want it? Are they really trying to get these things solved, or are they just talking? Honestly, it would help if we had some pictures. Maybe we could identify them. They just saying names like we just supposed to know who they are.
Reporting in studio, I'm Riley Birdwell. Back to you.
But the big story on Action News this noon is a woman shot and killed while returning from a late night workout with her friend in the city's Logan section.
Police say 2 suspects held the pair at gunpoint at North 12th Street and Lindley Avenue. That confrontation led to a shootout, killing 26-year-old Shamara McPherson.
Wow, man. And I told you guys, you know, I just went live today, actually, and I was talking about a woman who was a dance instructor in Philly, and she was helped by one of the programs to get her things together. And this happens to a woman who was armed, and she actually tried to defend herself in Philly, but it doesn't matter because these super gremlins are on demon time.
Action News reporter Corey Davis spoke with McPherson's friend about their terrifying encounter.
With my best friend having to have lost her life, simply protecting herself and me.
Nasir Waldo tells me she's forever grateful for the bravery of her best friend, who she says is the victim, Shamara McPherson.
First and foremost, I just want to thank her for what she did, because I don't know what might have happened had she been there.
Waldo says McPherson defended them when 2 males tried to rob them at gunpoint after they were returning from a late workout around 1:45 this morning.
Dang, man. And these super gremlins are targeting the sisters like no other. This is bad. It really is. It's bad, and it's unbearable at this point. We don't have anybody talking about it, and if you have the courage to talk about it, you're shamed, you're canceled, you're demonetized, you're shadow banned. That's the experience of somebody who is actually trying to spread awareness and make a change.
It happened at North 12th and Lindley Avenue in Logan after Waldo says they noticed a white car sitting with his lights on.
And they were acting strange, so we tried to hustle and bustle it to the apartment, but unfortunately the white car ended up pulling in front of us, and 2 people got out, and they ended up taking my best friend's life in a shooting.
Police say there was a shootout between one of the victims and the suspects. Waldo says 26-year-old McPherson was hit in the chest and died at the scene.
Dang. She was very close with her family. She was that person that was always the shoulder you could lean on, and you can call her for anything.
The suspects got away in the white car. Investigators say minutes later, a white car showed up at Einstein Medical. The driver dropped off a 15-year-old boy who had been shot multiple times and then left.
15-year-old boy. Guys. And they just dropped, at least they dropped him off at the hospital. Hopefully he rolls. Most likely he won't. He's a juvenile. He's not going to get much time. But he's going down for this one. He's going down. Very sad story. You got these super teen gremlins on demon time. I mean, what are we going to do? I keep saying, sisters, come get your kids. But at this point, a lot of these single mothers are actually living in fear because these dudes out here are ruthless.
Police say the boy was placed in critical condition and later moved to St. Christopher's Hospital, where he's being guarded as a prisoner. Investigators are still working to determine exactly who else might have been involved in this incident. Reporting here in Logan, Corey Davis, Channel 6 Action News.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe, hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga did Quavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what this is.
Nigga. Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
All right, guys. So I wanted to cover this story because we have a glider man, okay, white man, and he's keeping it a buck about the community, and it really hurts because there's a lot of truth to what he's saying, which is sad, but he obviously is standing on 10, okay? He's going and putting his face on it, putting his face card on it. And what he said, which I'm going to get into, is going to be interpreted as racist, obviously, because it's a white guy saying it. But what he says isn't far from what we talk about on this channel when it comes to fixing the community, fixing what the mainstream media loves to call gun violence, but we still over here call it black on black crime, because that's the biggest issue in America today. What I think, among other things, but I definitely think that's the root of the problem. Okay. Fully unhinged Dilbert guy tells white people to get the F away from black people. Okay. And this is a quote from him. He says, "I don't think it makes any sense as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore," the pro-Trump cartoonist said, adding, "This can't be fixed." So I'm not going to go through the article. We're going to go straight into what he said. And, you know, we'll also read some comments on Twitter. We'll read some comments on Instagram. And then we'll wrap it up with a nice bow on what I ultimately think about what he's saying. Okay? So we're going to listen to him straight through. And then I'm going to break it down. And then we're going to get out of here.
So if you know, nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, you know, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. All right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, you know, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying.
Hold up. Let's see.
And there we go. You didn't expect that today, did you? But those who don't want to focus on education, you just need to get away from them. Just get as much distance as you can. That's my recommendation. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture of what's happening. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person. I'm kind of over it. I'm over it.
Oh, shit. Right?
So I quit.
Yeah, so you heard what he said. This is not good news for the community. Whether we come out and say, okay, he's a racist, cancel him, boom, boom, bap, it's not good news for the community. I think he clarified what he said. I think he meant what he said. I think he obviously has seen what we're seeing on social media as well. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it whether you go on mainstream media, news outlets, or whether you're on WorldStar, whether you're on the dark web, whether you're on USA Crime, Grindface, any news outlet, you are going to see what he is talking about. Okay? Now, his solution is no solutions. He has become cynical about the situation like some of us over here. Because when you do try and shed a light, when you do try and help, he's getting called a racist. But if you're a black person and you try and help, then you're going to be an Uncle Tom or whatever. You hate yourself, you're a sellout. So people have just kind of backed off and are moving away silently. They're moving away silently. That's where you get the white flight thing. Businesses are moving away silently. That's where you get the food deserts. So what he is saying holds merit into what people are actually doing. He is just going to get canceled for actually saying this. So should he have worded it any other way? I mean, I don't know. That's how he felt. That's how the man is feeling. And I think a lot of other people on social media are feeling the same way. It's unfortunate that it's come to this part. And the reason why it's unfortunate is because a lot of people feel like this, and they may not be white, okay? They might be Hispanic. They might be Asian. They might be whatever. A lot of people are starting to feel like this. So I always speak about improving our image and all that other stuff, but Kevin Samuel spoke about improving the black male image as well. And he ended up obviously getting clowned in his death, which was a very sad situation. So he said it's over. He said it's over. He's done, and he has a cynical view on the future, a pessimistic view on the future of not only the community, but the relationship between the community and white America. So let's get into some of these comments. This guy says, personally, I don't think what Adam said was racist. He wasn't blaming blacks' hatred for whites on genetics. He was just saying it exists, and so why keep endorsing or ignoring it? Okay. So they're going to chat GPT. That's funny. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can get some other people's opinions. You going to man up and agree, Ryan? I don't know. I'm trying to get some real opinions. I could say the same thing about white progressive liberals. Name me one thing that was incorrect or factually untrue, Ryan. Okay. A better question to ask is, why are race relations being weaponized? Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a good question. I don't think that it's being weaponized in this situation. He's definitely getting canceled, though. I've known so many amazing black individuals. Unfortunately, black/woke culture is in the midst of mind control psyops designed to brainwash people into hating white folks. It's a classic divide and rule tactic of the elites. Yeah, that's true. Between the high school, the U.S. Army, 1976 jail several times in society, I can guarantee black people hate us. Ooh, very much hate them back. It works for me. Okay, so this is Federal Reserve Brown throwing smoke, throwing shade at the community. I identify as an African American and a melanated human being, so I'm not included in this rant. It's incredibly irresponsible and unnecessarily dangerous and divisive. This is why this social construct of color no longer works in America, let alone the world. Yeah, I mean, I think that I think that he said some true things, and I don't think he should be necessarily canceled for what he said. I think maybe he needs to. I mean, he don't have to do anything, honestly, but maybe he could get in on a debate and expound upon what he's saying and whatnot, and bring more truth and statistics and facts to the conversation. But what I will say though is there is a movement toward white hate. We obviously see what's going on between the community and the Asians right now. It's not looking good in the community, and we see what's going on between black men and other black men and women. So, I mean, it is looking rough. Okay, let's read someone in the Instagram comments. We're in the Instagram comments now. Someone remind me how he has tried to help black people. Yeah, he did say something about helping black people. I don't know his particular story. He's apparently a cartoonist, and I think he was referencing a poll that basically said that I think 57% of black people were not okay with white people type thing. And I think that's more of like the mind control of the media, because if you ask liberal white women, they would say the same thing. Oh, we're not okay with white people. And then you ask them, hey, but you're white. And it's like, oh, well, I mean, I've seen it both ways. So I don't think basing his whole opinion off of this poll is valid. But obviously, you know, looking at the social media videos and whatnot of him obviously seeing fights in the airport, fights at school. We just did the story on that 6'7" black kid who beat up the teacher. I mean, it's getting crazy. Sad, but this is what happens when you have a culture that constantly goes on about race. This country wasn't as divided or racist when I grew up, and now I see it on both sides. Black people that can't stand white people and white people that can't stand blacks. If you don't drop focusing on race, people won't ever let it go. What a sad world we live in. So much division for no reason. While other countries laugh at our downfall, then no one will be winning, because we'll be back in the society controlled by tyrants, kings, and queens. 300 years isn't that long ago. Beat bad speech with better speech. That's all you can do until people just start killing each other. I mean, I agree. He's definitely spreading hate and the wrong message, okay? So people are coming. Let's see the responses. Bro, I grew up in the Bay, and the only folks that ever hated on me for my color were black folks. Never once have I ever hated anyone for their color. Going on Barber College in Oakland as an adult was even worse. I got many black friends, but as a whole group, I'd advise many of my white friends to stay away from black communities. I live in Antioch in a black neighborhood and constantly had to deal with shootings, break-ins. My dog was stolen and had to bribe. Yeah, I wish somebody would steal my dog. Honestly, I need my dog stolen because I'm about tired of this, man. But and had to bribe the folks that stole him with putting up reward signs everywhere with a huge reward. They didn't get the reward, but they sure shut the F up with my 45 in their mouth. I agree with him to a point. I'm not saying we shouldn't try, but I think we should let the black communities completely alone, or leave the black communities completely alone. I'm tired of being blamed for every problem in the black communities. And he told some racist ish they only going to have themselves to blame. And once that happens, maybe then the black community start taking some much needed self-responsibility. Yeah. So we got another guy who's done with it. Okay. So people are saying they're going to report him. Oh, but when Marcus Garvey did it, that was black empowerment. Well, Marcus Garvey never went to Africa, but that's a whole nother story. I grew up in the hood in the 90s, and I couldn't recall a time where there was racial division between all races. We played b-ball, housed, and hip-hop together with no problems. Must be a Gen X hood anomaly. White people sure do a lot to be hated, though. Just saying. Oh, well, okay. With the reputation that his ancestors have, he's got King Kong balls on saying who is a threat to who. Okay, so we're going back to the ancestors. Okay, and I mean, there's valid points to each side, but ultimately, if we could, flip a switch tomorrow and there just be unity, I think everybody would. But at this point, I don't know, man. Until people understand that no one is responsible for anyone else's actions, even family ancestors, we could move forward without pointing out your ancestors did this or my ancestors went through that. Because in reality, it's 2023 and it's a new era of people being people, and that's all. Not defined by skin color or ethnicity, but just everyone being their own person. Okay, so somebody says folks are mad this dude's just speaking facts. It's a culture issue, glorification of gangs, killing ops, glorification of drug dealing, non-existent fathers, etc. Fix your culture and things will change. Let's see some of the replies and we're gonna get up out of here. So if we just start hanging and burning y'all, would that be better because it's y'all doing ancestors, or current-ish got worse, not better? It's in y'all, either leave or bend the knee, cuh. Gangs were created to protect black neighborhoods from oppression and police brutality. I mean, that's cap, unless he's specifically talking about the Panthers, but the Crips and the Bloods, that definitely didn't come from protecting the neighborhood, okay? So I see a lot of excuses blaming people for things that you guys know are wrong, but your culture continues to do. We can all change, but y'all are refusing to. No other race is killing or commit crimes like the black community. Let's be real, like 13% of the population, but responsible for a huge portion of violent crime. No one encourages fatherless homes. Some black mothers just choose to have it that way because you want the government aid, and they stay saying men ain't ish. They live on that boss B life and the kids suffer. Or the father just dipped out because that is the norm. Girls with 8 kids and 5 baby daddies. White people did glorify drugs, but that's apple and oranges compared in the way black rappers glorify crime and drugs. White folks just wanted to smoke weed, drop acid, eat shrooms, all for the feel-good unification of the 60s. White rappers nowadays are taking the lead in style from the black community. This is all happening by choice. 94 crime bill was a real thing, but I think the black vote went to Biden, the same guy who wrote the bill. It's your culture needs a revamping. From my life experiences, I've come to the conclusion that black people are by far some of the most racist folks I've met. Wow. So, I mean, this one gets deep. Y'all can look at the little posts or whatever and, get in the comments if you want to. Or you can just get in my comments. Let me know what you think. Should Scott Adams, the cartoonist, be fired? What has he actually done to help black people? Because that is something that he said. I've been trying to help black people all my life and it just doesn't work. I mean, Scott Adams, if you're trying to drop a bag, then hit me up. But, what has he done to help black people? I mean, I'd definitely like to interview him. That'd be interesting. But, it is what it is. Should he be canceled? Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comment section below. Hey, this one's up for debate. I definitely love discussions like this. Obviously, I'm not going to give up on spreading awareness about the community and what's going on. I'm not going to give up on my people, but I'm not mad at other people for giving up on, other people, because let's keep it a buck. Everybody wants to say, oh, one race, but yes, I agree, the human race, but at the same time, people also have an interest in their own race and their own families as well, because their families represent their race. I mean, it's a very, very interesting discussion. But hey, in the comment section below, let me know what you think. I'm done. Hopefully this doesn't get censored. But hey, peace.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.